Gaming as a hobby is at its most unaffordable level that it's ever been in years. I felt that this was a topic that I couldn't not acknowledge any longer because a lot of you guys watching are budget savvy gamers and live streamers, and you want to get the most bang for your buck while still enjoying your hobby or the career that you're trying to build in this space. I also want to give you guys my advice for how to best navigate the current gaming and tech ecosystem that we're in. But first, I want to start off with the fact that PlayStation has announced that they are discontinuing game discs in 2028. As of filming this video, there's been no sign of backtracking from Sony. The reason why the community is so up in arms about this is because at any point, Sony can decide they don't want you to have the game anymore, or they want to delist the game from their store, and you don't have access to your game that you paid $60 or more for. Owning a physical copy of the game, you have much more control over how and where you play, as well as the distribution of the game after you have purchased it, something that you don't have with digital. PlayStation has full control over the asset that you spent your hard-earned money on, and that's a problem. Now, Sony does have some ongoing lawsuits, one in the UK and then one in the Netherlands. That one in the Netherlands is specific to this new disc change, which basically highlights that the removal of physical disc media will not stop Sony from charging whatever the heck they want in their store. But where my position stands is that we should have optionality. If someone wants to play a physical version of the game and control how they sell it and use it, then they should be able to do that. Now, am I surprised that things are going this way? Absolutely not. I think the writing has been on the wall for some time. Games have been trending to a digital direction, even with the Switch 2, which has been praised for still allowing game cartridges to be used. A lot of that is going digital as well. When I bought my Switch 2 on release night with the Mario Kart bundle, I didn't have the physical Mario Kart game in there. It had a code that I used to redeem the digital version on their store. Xbox, they've been trending this direction as well, really pushing their Game Pass experience. And it's been rumored that their new console may or may not include a disc drive, but a lot of people are trying to say, hey, the Xbox, this is your time to put a disc drive on the console if you really want to maybe take out Sony. They've already ran the numbers that 85% of PS5 software purchases were digital in the beginning of 2026 and is 80% up year over year. Now, there is some caveats to those metrics, as it does include game add-ons, DLCs, digital-only games, so I don't think we're really seeing the true metric, but I think those numbers still tell a big enough story that the majority of people buying games are doing it digitally. Now, I think it's also fair that we look on the flip side of that metric. We saw 70 million PlayStation physical disc sales in 2025, which clearly tells us that there is a market for people who want to buy games physically, but that is slowly starting to dwindle more and more. And let's not forget, GTA 6 is coming in a matter of months, and that's been driven heavily by digital pre-orders already. Part of this is most certainly due to GTA 6 needing more than the 100 gigabyte capacity that a disc can currently hold. And even if we did get a disc, this is why some games still need a day one update in order to get all the features. Now, this technology could be developed further to hold more data, but Sony and these other game studios don't have a financial incentive to invest in this when revenue can just be maximized by removing physical game production costs, control the resale and distribution markets, and for a majority of people, purchasing digitally is the easy and convenient option. Unless there's significant numbers that show an increase in physical sales over the digital sales, we're not going to really see a change or a pullback from Sony or any of these other companies trending this digital direction. So what you guys can do now to minimize your costs with this new digital wave coming in is try to stock up on the games that you're planning or want to play. Take the time now to get physical titles at a good price that you won't have to worry about trying to get digitally later. Also, try to wait out for sales unless you're a creator trying to get a new game and capture that content day one. Depending on the title, you can wait 6 months up to a year to get the game at up to $30 to $40 off. As it pertains to future games going into 2028, I want you guys to think a bit bigger picture here. Instead of just hyper focusing on physical media not being an option. As we move into this digital future, we need to advocate for more ownership rights. We need our lawmakers to be able to put legislation into place to give us control over the licenses of the games that we buy outright. For as long as PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Steam, Epic Games services are running and we have games that we've purchased from those platforms, we should be able to access those games indefinitely, no matter what, even if on the storefront it is removed. We should also be able to transfer those games to a friend's account or another one of our own accounts. Why is it locked to the account that we purchased on? That is insane. What if we lose our account? You know, then what? So we really need to think beyond physical media and just general ownership over the things that we buy digitally. The next area that is continuing to make gaming more and more unaffordable is the constant creep in play cost. And it starts before you even turn on the game. Not too long ago, a brand new game was only $60. Now we're sitting at $70, sometimes $80 for these new AAA titles on top of paid DLCs, microtransactions, and subscriptions. I don't know if you guys remember, but playing online on the PlayStation used to be free. Now it's what, like $120+ with different tiers. On PC, it's free. And if you think about it, if you keep your PC in good shape long enough, it'll actually pay for itself compared to paying the monthly subscriptions that you have to with Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. Plus, you can emulate and play a lot of old games for free. The other thing is all of the microtransactions that are in these games. They are just shoving it down our throats. We're paying $10, $15, $20 for some of these bundles. It may not seem like that much money, but here and there, over a period of time, you're gonna be spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on these things. And guys, I have totally checked out of that. I am not giving my money away to a bunch of cosmetics anymore, especially in games that get a yearly update. You guys are wild for investing a bunch of money into a game that's just gonna get a refresh next year, and then you gotta repeat the cycle. On top of paying for the new game, Madden, I'm looking at you. Speaking of Madden, EA has said that there's a huge opportunity for ads in games. Are you serious? I get it. Maybe it could work if it's subliminal and let's say in GTA 6 and you pass a billboard and it shouts out Taco Bell or something. But if I'm getting into a game and there's like a video advert or like a banner at the top and I'm stuck watching the advertisement before I can continue playing, we don't want that added play cost. So what I recommend to you guys is to audit your subscriptions. See if there are things that you're being billed for that you're not even using. You can always resubscribe to your subscription if something you really like drops and it requires that subscription. On to the third thing that is making gaming so unaffordable right now, and that is the hardware costs. Take a look at this chart. We are seeing a near 30 to 50% increase in console hardware. PS5 Pro, $900. What do you guys think the PS6 gonna cost? At least $1,000, right? So what's the reason behind these price hikes? Well, it's because of the fast buildup of these AI data centers. I would say so far, AI has had some positive benefits to society, allowing us to be able to work more efficiently and save a lot of time. But in that same vein, we are moving way too fast in that space to the point to where consumers are getting absolutely shafted in PC part and component prices. That's why you don't hear about Nvidia creating new graphics cards for gamers. Memory and storage prices have doubled and may triple as we continue to see this AI demand. I know people on the internet keep talking about this AI bubble, but I promise you, there ain't no bubble that's popping anytime soon. My advice is to get PC parts or consoles that are a generation behind. So finding a PS4, which could just run you $100, even a used PS5 digital console, you could probably find around $250 or less. And if you're gonna upgrade your parts at any point, don't do it all at once. Try to do it incrementally and look for sales. Wait out for Black Friday, for example, or Prime Day, because a lot of things can be bought on a budget. And check out secondary brands. You don't have to always buy from the main name brands. There are a lot of capable manufacturers that make good PC parts that you can pick up for a lot less. At the end of the day, guys, I know that this is a difficult situation to be in as a gaming hobbyist or gaming live streamer creator. Things are just absolutely expensive, not just in the gaming space, but in the world in general. And it's important that we try to reflect and adjust to still be able to do and enjoy the things that we like without breaking the bank. You guys have to remember that these corporations are in business to make money. You can affect that bottom line by canceling subscriptions, not buying the digital games. If you're truly against something a company is doing, then their bottom line is the best thing to hit. I hope we get the right people to watch this video to give this some more attention so that we can get the right laws in place to protect us and give us ownership of our digital assets, especially since we're trending this direction for the future. But thank you guys so much for staying to the very end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.